We had a complete football game this last game, which is always a good thing. We played, everybody went on a trip that could play, and I think we played offensively, defensively, in the kicking game with a lot of players that played. I think we played well. We can get better, and we need to get better, but for where we are right now, given all the circumstances, it was a good effort, and I was pleased. We for the second week looked like we understand playing in the kicking game. Eric Russell has really stepped forward as a leader in our kicking game, along with Patrick Tatum, our punter and kicker. For the second week in a row, we had a kick return for a touchdown. So now we've had a punt return and a kick return for a touchdown, and we've, I think, managed field position pretty well, and very pleased about that. Defensively, we held them under 100 yards. Offensively, we ran for over 200 yards. And those are usually two pretty good measures that you win on the line of scrimmage. We've played 4 games now. I think we've found something has gotten better through each one of those 4 games. And if we can continue to improve, we'll be a really good football team. The improvement from here forward, though, will be against a known quality of football team, which I think there have been more unknowns in these four games and that we've had to deal with that that really allow you maybe to get complete focus. Well, we know exactly who we're playing this week. The majority of the players are the same ones that we played against, particularly on offense. But we're playing a team in UT Martin it's beaten us 2 out of the last 3 years, and the game that we won here, we won on the last play of the game, or virtually the last play of the game, on a pass to Ranretta. But we are ready to start the conference. We understand how good our opponent is. Our quarterback is playing really well. We're playing a football team that their quarterback, Cade Thompson, is playing really well too. Their running game has distinguished itself. They've distinguished themselves on defense. This is always a defensive team. I think they've ranked near the top of the defensive statistics the last few years, and this team gives every indication that they're the same quality. So we've got to stop their run. Our defense has got to stop their running game, and we've got to go out and run the football against their defensive front. I think that after that you have to control their passing game, and we've got to make big plays in our passing game. So it's going to be a week that we're going to find out a whole lot about ourselves. I think our players are going to work to be ready. I think we will be ready. I think we should be physically okay, though we start off with a lot of people nursing things from the physical effort that we had last week. But we should be physically ready. We ought to be emotionally ready. We ought to be mentally ready. And this should be one heck of a football game, for coming home and showing our fans what it means to be playing in front of them. Any questions?
Talk about finally getting to play at home, Coach.
Well, we have been road warriors, and we've developed a road personality. I don't know what our personality is at home, but I can only think that it will make us better to hear our fans respond when we do something, to hear our band playing in rhythm with what's going on with our team. So, you know, I expect it to bring out the best in us, which could be really good because this is a talented football team that can do some really good things. If there is such a concept as a 12th man, it could really make this an outstanding football team. There are some players that are playing at a level on this team that are at the highest level that a player could reasonably play at. So it's certainly an entertainment value to the to the football general football fan. So we hope we'll have the loyal crowd, and I hope we'll have the crowd that that's just looking to see a quality football team and a quality football game, because it will be a heck of a game.
Is this the best rushing attack that you've
So
seen?
well, you have to say Georgia Tech is. I'd say after Georgia Tech, yes.
And the most balanced?
It's the most run pass balance by far of anybody. Georgia Tech, certainly more run. Florida State, certainly more pass. A&M had some balance, but I think this group we're playing has achieved more both running and passing than A&M had at the time. And then last week we went back to almost an all-out running attack. So we're going to be faced with a powerful running game, and yet we're going to have to handle the passing game off of it, and we're going to try to present the same thing to them. So I mean, we're pretty much philosophically same kind of teams, and their quarterback. We've got one that transferred from LSU. They got one that transferred from South Carolina. So these are if you want to brand them, SEC caliber players.
Jack, would you speak to the dynamic of the matchup of quarterbacks? I know they're not playing each other, but you got one guy who's a 1AA Heisman candidate,
right,
and the other kid is preseason first team All OVC quarterback.
Right.
They're playing in the same game.
Yeah,
what's that going to be all about?
It's going to be. I think it's going to be about two guys, both can do, want to, and a strong will to do what they have to do for their teams to win. I think Cade is I think he's a quality quarterback, and I think certainly Ryan is too. So. The competition of the two quarterbacks in the game is worth the price of admission.
You want to play one off the other? I mean, your guy does. I mean, people here can see what your guy does.
Right.
What are they going to see that their guy does or doesn't do? Cade
threw for more yards against us last year than Ryan threw against them. I don't know the exact numbers. That's right, isn't it? And he's a highly productive. He can throw the ball down the field. He's high percentage. He can move around to make his throws. He's a little less likely than Ryan to just make a run out of a play. He's more of a move to throw.
Is his a case where, and I mean, I've made this argument kind of out of hand, but is he the kind of guy that his receivers make him the quarterback he is, where Ryan makes your guys the way they are?
I think he's been fortunate to have two really good receivers, don't get me wrong, and one of them is back in Hicks. But Ryan had Maurice Dupree, and those are the two all-conference wide receivers. They both had one, and this year Hicks is back, the all-conference wide receiver, and I don't think that we don't. Ryan is doing a lot different job. He's spreading the ball around. He used to be certainly focused on Maurice. With this group of receivers, I think we've had 9 or 10 of them. Yeah, but every quarterback has a go-to guy. Don't get me wrong.
With the way the games have been the last 3 years,